happens to new cars that don't get sold? Well, over the past few years, there's been a change. A lot of cars have been sitting at dealership lots or at staging areas waiting to be sold, but they never do. And the number has been increasing, but what has happened to the new cars that don't get sold? This is a newer issue that dealers are having to deal with now that inventory levels are back to normal. And with prices being higher than ever, every manufacturer is having this problem. Now, this is a common issue that dealerships are having to deal with no matter what brand we're looking at, whether it's Ford, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, Chevrolet, you name the brand. Even Ferrari is having this problem. All brands have vehicles sitting from 2022, 23, and even 2024. With the 2025 models starting to arrive at dealerships, this is becoming a real issue, and the problem rarely happened before 2020. In the past, we have never seen a new car sit more than 200 days or dealerships having about 6 months of inventory. In the current economy, dealers are finding cars sitting on lots 500, 600, even 700 days. Is becoming the normal. And this is crazy. And I'll tell you why this is happening. But first, I want to remind you to like this video and subscribe to this channel to keep up with what's going on in the automotive world. This is the new normal. Some of these cars are really expensive, like the Jeep Grand Wagoneer or the Ford Lightning electric truck, and Jaguar, who's got over a year of inventory sitting on their lot. And other high-end models, well, it's not just them. Actually, all models are having this problem, and they're just not selling. And in some cases, manufacturers are forcing dealers to add these vehicles to their inventory in order to get allocation for those super popular cars and the trim levels that you want. Now, this is a bad situation, and one of the most common questions people are asking is, what happens to these cars that don't get sold? And where do they go? And where are the deals? I was a dealer trainer for many years for different brands and dealership groups. And once you learn how they operate, you can see where the challenges are, but you can also see where your deals are. Dealers purchase cars on a floor plan. This is how they finance the inventory in most cases. As dealers fill their lots with inventory, they finance each vehicle that has an interest-free loan for 60 or 90 days, depending on their deal. And that's the best turnover for cars on lots. That's what they want. Obviously, the goal is to always sell the vehicle within the first interest-free period or at very low interest rates. After that period, the cost generally ticks up to pretty high interest rates on hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars of inventory. This adds up very quickly, especially on old inventory. As dealers have these vehicles sitting on their lots, they're building interest, and this becomes a burden to the dealership because they're throwing away money on interest rates, and this is where the dealers make their money by selling cars, and that's why they're suddenly offering deals on certain vehicles. They push their salespeople to get the customers into the money-sucking cars. They need to get the cars off the lots, and that's where you can get a good deal. Many times the dealership will either pay it off to relieve the debt, but they'll also offer what we call spiffs or incentives to the sales team to try and get the vehicle sold. Car salespeople will offer $500 or $1,000 spiff to get you to buy that car that won't sell. If the vehicle is a 2023, it's been sitting on the lot for 500 days or more, and the salesperson will try to convince you to consider that vehicle, even if you're not showing any interest at all. And the issue is that customers do not want to buy a 2-year-old new vehicle. You have to find that right customer that may or may not show up, and maybe you'll get a deal. But the issue is that vehicles have been sitting there for a few years, and it's not good for any vehicle to just sit. Now, cars are meant to be driven, but these vehicles are the best deal for customers who are looking to save money. Alternatively, the dealership could also use these vehicles as demo vehicles or loaner cars for the service department. The rising cost of insurance generally adds to the dealership's cost of keeping these vehicles in inventory, and used as demos or service loaners, that's still costing them money. But there are good deals on demo cars for those looking to save money on their next vehicle. These vehicles are typically odd colors, ones with no options, or full of special options that can make any vehicle hard to sell. And this includes expensive vehicles like a $150,000 pickup truck. Generally, they don't sell because the average consumer thinks that's too expensive for a utility vehicle. And they're right. Now, many times the dealership principals will take that odd vehicle and drive it for a few years and then sell it at auction at a fraction of the price and take the loss. That certainly is an option. But sometimes the smartest business decision, it could go to charity or sell it to a charity group or a local community group because it's also good to give back. Now, selling vehicles at any price can help the finance department make some money. But the loss is a loss no matter how you slice it. And dealerships can deal with 1 or 2 of these losses, but having 10 to 15 cars sitting on your lot or worse 20 or more cars for 400 days. On older vehicles, well, that's a huge issue and also a huge loss. Some people are actually happy to hear this news. They think that dealerships screw everybody and they deserve it. And that's not true. There were many dealers that did take advantage of overcharging $15,000 markups or more over a window sticker on brand new, highly sought after cars. That was greed, for sure. They took advantage of supply and demand during the chip shortage, but some dealers refused to sell over sticker, and those are the good dealers. We know that some dealers are playing this game with vehicles that are in high demand by charging you more than what's on the window sticker, and manufacturers are cracking down on big offenders that are still charging huge markups. Customers are getting smarter though, and just avoid these dealerships, and that will hurt them in the end. People are starting to buy online and negotiate without leaving their homes. It can be a smart tactic if you know exactly what you want. Right now, you can get a deal on any vehicle, no matter what brand. There are incentives and discounts off of MSRP, no matter how valuable or how desirable. So look around, shop around, and make them work for your money. There is inventory, but don't be afraid to drive out of state to save thousands of dollars. It just makes sense. So how can you use this information? Dealers are motivated to sell their inventory. They don't want them sitting on the lot for years. Also, ask for the deal. That includes loyalty and conquest discounts that could mean between $500 and $2,500, depending on the cost of the vehicle. The savings go in your pocket. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.